OG, I think it's telling me we're a minute late, but here we go, buddy. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio, number 408, and Corona Hour number 16. My name is Mel Popeye Moss, my co-host Mel OG Robbins. We are with Sons of Liberty Riders MC, who brings this show to you each and every week. And if you don't know what we do on this show, we talk about things that are in the news, and some of it biker news, and some of it about things that are just happening out there. And OG, instead of starting out with the coronavirus bullshit, let's talk about Chicago for a minute. My God, really? A funeral?
Yeah.
15 people shot? I mean, man. Yeah, if you saw the people after that being interviewed, the people that live around there say, hey, this is a war zone. We need help. We do need the federal police. We need help. But man, that damn mayor is just hell bent on letting this go on.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, they were talking that they're going to file a lawsuit now to keep the feds out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Because Trump, as I understand it, he's not sending them in to guard any federal property. He's sending them in to assist the police department, which falls under a whole different purview.
Well, yeah, you know, there are many people out there that are in the camp that thinks he should just let them sink. Just let them go ahead and let it all go, keep going till it collapses. But you know, that could last a very, very long time. But, you know, when you have black people that are begging for help, and they're not getting it from other black politicians, I think that should say a lot to them and the people that live in those communities, that you've got to quit supporting these bastards and bitches, is what I think.
Well, it's just, you know, it's kind of mind-boggling trying to understand where the hell these mayors are coming from in stopping the police from stopping these criminal activities. There was one theory thrown out there that apparently in Portland, in the upcoming election, there is a person who is admitting that they are an Antifa supporter. In fact, they're saying, I am Antifa, that's going to run against the mayor in Portland. And I think the theory that's being advanced is that this mayor is attempting to appeal to the black vote by keeping the police at bay. So it would be interesting to see what in the hell would happen if you get an Antifa mayor in one of these cities. But that's the theory that's being advanced as far as Portland's concerned. But you know, when you look at what's going on in all these other cities right now, you know, and it's they're all democratically run. They're all run by the left. Every last one of them. And in every last one of them, they're resisting any assistance. They are shutting down the police departments,
Mm-hmm.
and they're letting crime run rampant, and they're endangering the citizens that they were elected to protect.
Yeah.
And the public is letting it happen. Now, you know, in the good old days, they used to either lynch them or tar and feather them and run them out of town or whatever. So, you know, maybe that needs to come back. I don't know. It just blows my mind that people allow themselves to be trampled like this.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Man. I mean, it's a shame because children are being murdered. I mean, that's a shame of it. And
Oh yeah, I mean, listening to some firsthand reports of what went down in Chicago from some of the participants of the funeral
mm-hmm.
was, you know, they thought they were in some kind of a war zone, and the police retrieved 60 some odd rounds of brass laying in the street.
Wow.
They were, I guess it was a carload of them that were driving past the funeral that unloaded, and I'm sure they were using automatic weapons. And fortunately, I guess there were some in the crowd of the funeral that were able to return fire.
Yeah.
Which caused the car to crash. But I guess they hot-footed it out of there. Last I heard, they had one, what they called person of interest, in custody.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's advanced beyond that because, as you know, we were, my wife and I were out working on the new house today. So we basically have been away from all the media and hearing what's going on.
You know, isn't that kind of good to tune out and get a breath?
I got to tell you, being banned from Facebook has not really adversely affected me. I miss throwing stuff out there, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
trying to keep people aware of all the garbage that's going on. But to some degree, it has freed up a tremendous amount of my time.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, OG, I got to say something to the people on the chat line. I've been trying to say hello, and for some reason, it will not let me post. So I'm sorry about that. But I do want to answer one thing. I want somebody on the chat line from early this morning asked why Sons of Liberty aren't out running for these offices where there's low turnouts. And it's not really what we do. We work in the background of certain elections, and we're certainly working to push Donald Trump across the line with bikers and with the people that subscribe to our program. We're certainly doing that, and we'll continue that for the next 100 and something days. And and forgive me for my speech because I had some final dental work done the other day, and it's terribly painful. So I'm enduring tonight. So to keep on our schedule, and oh yes, it is the Corona Hour number 16, and OG, I've got a Corona beer right here that's cold as heck, and it had ice in the neck of it. But I am going to open it with my shark opener. Here we go. And maybe if I chug it real fast, I'll feel better.
Well, if you chug enough of them, you'll really feel better.
That's true. That's true. But anything, but anyway, OG, I wanted to talk about the man, I really can't pronounce his name. The guy over at Insane Raw. He went political this week. Now, he said he doesn't like to do that because the bikers really don't want to hear it. And I don't blame them. Hey, look, politics is slow. It's hard. It's something part of. And believe you me, we get tired of it too. But it's like I said the other night. When you have victories, it's oh so sweet. It is oh so sweet. There's nothing I look like better than to pull off a victory when people think they've got it won. And we've done this multiple times since I've been politically active. And when when that happens, man, everything is worth it. Everything is worth it. So now here we go. But in particular, OG, he was talking about homeless veterans. And it got me to thinking because of my stepson's experience at the VA, where they told him he couldn't get in for a month, for 30 days. He said, well, I need to see somebody now. So they said, well, due to the coronavirus, where we heard this shit before, OG.
Well, that's what I hear from Facebook every day on, documenting me that I'm really who I am so I can get my account back.
Yeah. Well, you also hear it from Home Depot. You hear it from anything you're ordering online. And you hear
it's
from...
the excuse of the day.
Yeah, you hear it from doctors' offices, everywhere else. And it's enough to drive you mad. But, OG, what we're going to do, we're going to take everybody, because I'm going to make an appointment at the VA on Monday. And I'm going to take everybody for a ride with me. And we're going to video it, all of it. The phone calls, everything. We're going to video it. And what we're going to do, I've also heard that the VA, the building, is virtually empty. But guess what, OG? There's employees there. Are they just hanging out and sitting on their ass, drawing a paycheck? Is that what's going on? And they're using COVID-19 or the China virus as an excuse? That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough for veterans that may be dying. That isn't good enough for veterans that need treatment. And that isn't good enough for homeless veterans that are on the streets. And OG, we're going to go to Fort Worth and to Dallas. And we're going to go find where the homeless veterans are at. Now, Fort Worth says they've done a great job. The mayor of Fort Worth, that bicycle riding, well, whatever she is, she says they put a hell of a dent in this thing. We're going to go find out. We hope.
Didn't they, as a matter of fact, get a little irritated at you the last time you tried checking on the veterans?
Oh, yeah. They didn't like that worth of shit. Yeah. But, I'm going to dig up those interviews that we did about 4 years ago. And we'll put them out there. And, those things that were said to us were from the homeless veterans, not from the people that ran the facilities. Oh, some of them tried to talk. But we do understand, hey, look, there's a lot of reasons veterans are struggling out there. I mean, you got PTSD, you got drugs, you got all this stuff going on. It's basically a reflection of the rest of our society, except for maybe it just be a little bit on steroids. So we're going to go check it out. We're going to go see what's going on. And also, when he went political, I'm talking about the guy in Sane Throttle. I cannot pronounce his name. I'm going to try. I'll have to call him up and ask him. I mean, he has interviewed us before when we had stuff going on down here with Waco. But, he did mention because he lives in Chicago, the BLM and the BS that's going on up there, all the shootings. He said, man, we got to have help. We got to have freaking help. Somebody said, call him Jamesy. Yeah. But OG, let me tell you something that got put out today. It's this city. I think it's Redwood, California, or Redwood somewhere. I think it was California. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be There's Redwood City in California.
Anyway, a lady is called in. The city went out there and painted Black Lives Matters on the streets. She calls and says, "Hey, look, the city's going to help, promote this shit and put it out there, and in some cases pay for it." She said, "Hey, look, I want a mega sign out there beside it. Make America great again. I want one of those out there beside it." The city went, "Uh-oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble." Because she's going to have the right, the First Amendment right, to paint out there too. Because if they've got done it for one, they've got to do it for the other, right? So she's ready to file suit, and the city knows it. And let me tell everybody right now, this can happen all over the country. So, OG, what's happening is the city's out there trying to get rid of the damn BLM, the Black Lives Matters on the street. It's time to get that off.
Scrubbing the street.
Guess what? It's too late. It's too late. They've already done it. So I think we should get ready for MAGA murals all over the country. That would be a great thing. They're not the only one that can paint murals. Now, I'm sure it would be vandalized really quick, as they call it, when you get rid of a BLM sign. When you get
as a matter of fact, isn't there's somebody in a city that painted over some Black Lives Matters, and they're actually being tried for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man. So anyway, they're wanting to remove this thing quick. And it was Redwood City in the San Francisco Bay Area. Well, hell, we got to get that up. We can't we can't have a MAGA 2020 out there beside it on the road. Oh my God. We can't have that. But, you know, hey, and who knows? Maybe we'll have a Bikers Lives Matter sign painted out here in Dallas or Fort Worth or somewhere. Any place where the city has let them deface the street. It's what I would think. Anywhere where that's done. And the city let them do it. Or the city encourages it. And in some cases, the city paid for it. Paid for it. But we digress on that one. Oh, gee, we need to let people on the left, and I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about everybody within our sphere, all our subscribers, those who worry about our Constitution, where we're headed. But we're on to what the left is doing. We know they're doing everything they can to keep the economy from recovering. They're doing everything they can to exploit the China virus and scare the hell out of everybody. Dr. Fauci's on every other newscast out there. He's become their favorite boy. If they can get him.
Oh, he is the darling child right now, let me tell you.
Yeah. Follow the science, but don't send your kids to school if the science says it's okay to do so. Follow the science. It's Donald Trump's fault, even though we wanted control of it at the state level. It's our job. They fought for it. Now, Nancy Pelosi, the number one bitch in the country, who sits there and runs her mouth every afternoon. And what has she done to help? I mean, what bright ideas did they come up with to help besides send everybody out to party in the streets as the COVID virus and the China virus was spreading everywhere in New York City and New Jersey and San Francisco? Hug a Chinaman. The president's a racist. He shouldn't cancel these flights coming into the country. He shouldn't ban these people. He should open the borders, even though Mexico is struggling with the China virus. I mean, it's bad down there, really bad. And, they want to continue to yell about testing. Because they're testing everywhere now, OG. And I don't assume I'll get tested unless I show symptoms. And I get checked. Here lately, I've been to a lot of doctor's visits, and they check me every time I go in. Got that damn thing on your head, taking your temperature. Put a mask on you, and I can't breathe. I don't start coughing and sneezing and snotting until I put that damn thing on. But maybe that's just me. Maybe there are others out there that like it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I get to go through that tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So I've been through it quite a bit here lately. I'm tired of it. But hey, we know what the Democrats are trying to do. And if you really want to piss them off, if you really want to piss them off, you really want to get back at them, you really think this BLM, these protests and this stuff that's going on in Oregon, Chicago, New York, you think you want to punch them in the freaking nose, vote for Donald Trump on November 3rd and every Republican you can. Now, I don't like all of them, but we got to take the House back. We got to jerk that away from Nancy Pelosi. The bitch will never die. So that's where we're at, everybody. You want to get out there this last 100 days, and you want to do everything you can do to push back. Push back. And that's what we've been doing for years. That's what we did in Waco when we had a rogue DA that decided he wanted to send almost 200 people to jail who were witnesses at best, wanted to send them to prison for 45 freaking years. We got in behind his opponent and we did the things it took to do to get him out of office and our guy elected. Now, did we take a risk? Yes. But this guy turned out to do the things that he said he was going to do. We had interviewed him, we got behind him, and we won that damn election. And we were the only ones that knew he was going to win it. And how did we know? Because he was still out campaigning when his victory party was gathering up. He was still at the freaking polls trying to garner votes. But he's lost. And he lost big. And he is no longer the chief prosecutor in McLennan County in Waco. He's been relegated to, what would you say, Mel? Relegated to not of importance. Because he was a young Hispanic guy in the Republican Party. He was their darling. He was their darling. He had everything going for him. Everything. Matter of fact is, it was bikers that helped put him into office. But he started having visions of the governor's mansion. That taking down these 1% clubs was going to put him into the governor's mansion. And it backfired on him. It backfired on him because there were none of these 1%ers, none of these bikers, even the ones that weren't 1%ers that got caught up in that. None of them were going to take a plea bargain because they didn't do anything wrong. They were at a COC meeting, which is a political meeting. They were meeting over successes that we had had in the state legislature. That's how all that went down. And this is how we work. This is where we work. We work in the background on certain elections. And we work in the background on the state legislature going forward. But we'll be out front with the national election too. We'll be doing all that we can. Because we have a limited budget. We're not here trying to sell you a damn t-shirt. We're not here trying to sell you anything. We're here to help give you information on what's going on out there, and then whether it be the biker world or what's going on in the political scene nationally and locally. That's where we're at. And of course, we'll take on the jerks. That's for sure. That's for sure. I said a lot there, OG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
who's still in Facebook jail?
Yeah.
But we win. Hey, look, we win this election. We'll be talking about Facebook. We'll be talking about YouTube and the things they're doing. The things they're doing to the people out there, trying to manipulate. They're really they're as bad as any country out there is trying to manipulate the election. They really are. And they're yeah, I'm not ready to pounce on YouTube yet, but I'm getting ready to. If what I think is happening. But maybe we'll talk about that at another time. But OG, I have not tuned in to, hey, did you see the baseball team that they were kneeling for the national anthem? I just saw it in the news. I didn't watch the damn game. I'm not going to. There they were, a picture of them taking the knee. And not all of them did. But you know what? If one is, that's one too many. In my book. In my book. They can't. They're not going to get me back. They're not going to win me back. Not as long as they're supporting these Marxist organizations.
Well, I did kind of like the way the NASCAR fans dealt with NASCAR when they had their first race here a few days back. It was pretty damn classic. There were apparently hundreds of Confederate flags in the stands with the spectators. They were also wearing shirts that had Confederate flags. There was an apartment complex across the street from the racetrack that had a huge Confederate flag flung over the railing, and hanging there. And then as they introduced the drivers one by one, when they introduced Bubba, he was loudly booed.
Oh, good.
And the cherry on top of the sundae was when Bubba crashed into the wall and everyone gave cheers. And he crashed into the wall.
Oh, my God.
Dixie served up some fried chicken for NASCAR.
Hey, only in Texas. I hope there's pictures of this out there. I have not seen them.
That it was hilarious.
How did you see this? I'm just curious.
I didn't see it. I read about
it. Man. So I assume the media probably didn't show any of that. They probably put their cameras in another direction.
Oh, hell no. They're not going to demonstrate any of that.
How freaking funny. Wow. That makes my day. That makes my day. Now, the NFL, hey, look, I'm done with these people. There are other things to do. I keep telling people, I post it on Facebook all the time. There are other things to do in your life rather than be insulted by this bullshit. If you don't have a motorcycle, buy one. if you need to, drive a damn three-wheeler. So, here we go. Hey, man, Waylon Jennings would be a liberal. Yeah, I think. You don't know about musicians, and singers. They tend to.
Well, I'll tell you, the motorcycle industry could use the help right now.
Yeah, they could.
There's a sad tale, and I hate to report on this, but it's kind of biker news.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you out there have read American Iron magazine, but I have for a number of years. They've been a publication for 35 years.
Yeah.
Buzz Cantor was the publisher and owner, and he's been publishing that thing for a long time, and it had a lot of tech articles in it, a lot of stuff about recalls for Harleys, improving Harleys, engineering articles on, why Harley did this and that. They also started to, this last year, include a lot of stuff about Indian. And I suspect that was more because Indian started to do a lot of advertising in that magazine, which, encouraged them to write more Indian stuff. But because of this move that I'm making, I was starting to go in now and put my forwarding address in for the magazines that I read. And I got to the website for American Iron, and right there in front of me, it was like July 5th or something like that. American Iron has suspended operations.
Wow.
And it didn't say they've gone out of business, but it said they have suspended all operations. And I read further in the article, and, I was kind of suspicious when something was afoul when I got this last publication, which their July 1, they called it, is publication number 390 was their last one. And I noticed the magazine was a little thinner, and it was printed on incredibly cheap paper.
Wow.
And it was their last clawing to stay alive. But they just couldn't do it because they have lost so many advertisers because of this COVID-19.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these suppliers, they're not getting enough business to be able to afford advertising. And, having worked in the corporate world for a lot of years, I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, one of the first things that goes on your expense line is advertising when you start trying to cut expenses. That is the very first thing that goes, which to some degree is kind of ludicrous when you think about it, because your advertising and marketing is what brings in new business. But that's the first thing that gets cut, and that's what got cut with American Iron, and that's what took them down. Now, they may never come back. They used the verbiage suspended operations, but I think it was just a nice way of saying, hey, we're done. So there will be no more American Iron or American Garage magazines published until further notice or never.
Wow.
So one more victim for COVID-19.
Yeah. Hey, OG, you ever heard of this stock analyst, James Hardiman?
Yeah.
Now, he's a bigwig. Now, he has put Harley Davidson down as a buy. It's reached a 4-month high of like 29 something. And y'all went looking for Harley Davidson news, what would make that a buy. And oh, wait a minute, they just laid off 700 people. Now, Oh, gee, it's only the stock market, that consider laying off people as a good thing.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in the market. They'll see companies laying off people and the stocks will go up.
Well, that's because when you lay people off,
Mm-hmm.
all of that savings goes to what they call the bottom line on the P&L.
Yeah, but I don't know
And
that Mr. Hardiman looked at at their, at their recovery plan or their going forward plan. Uh, I don't know. I'm just saying.
oh, I hear you. I hear you.
But OG, a lot of people own Harley stocks because they want to own Harley Davidson stock. They don't give a shit how much it is. Not really. They just want to own some shares. They're not they're not worried about making money. It's not like they're buying and selling and trading. It's the big outfits that do that. Yeah. Just saying.
Well, once upon a time, Harley stock really took a dip,
Mm-hmm.
and it recovered very nicely. But so did Martha Stewart when she went to prison.
Yeah.
She recovered very well, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Harley Davidson will do the same recovery for the second time around.
Yeah. Not with this business plan.
There are some real serious issues
Mm-hmm.
within the biking industry right now anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Relative to who's buying, who's not buying, and why.
Yeah. But they are making some Harley dealers are making a real effort to bring women into the fold. I mean, they even got bikes that they can train them on that are stationary, where they can get on it and give it gas and go through the gears and all that kind of stuff. Learn the basic operation of a motorcycle. Except for maybe not the front brake, because the front wheel's stationary, which there's no feeling like that. Just saying. Ironhead said, buy a new Japanese Harley.
Yeah.
Given the chance, somebody will buy it. But the t-shirt sales are good, but they need to improve the quality, especially at these dealerships. I'm just saying. Oh, gee, I think we're about at the end of it for tonight. I'm really struggling here, trying to talk. I apologize to all our people on the chat line that I have not been able to type anything in. I've tried. It's just not going, not cooperating. I don't know why. But maybe next week will be better. And if something happens this weekend, we will be back on real quick. Whether it be, tragedies with bikers or tragedies within our country. Maybe some good news out there. Some good news. You see something going on in our community that needs to be reported. Guess what? You are a reporter. You got a damn cell phone. You're a reporter. Take part. You got some politician out there that's being a jerk. Let us know about it. Yeah. You can join us online, that's for sure. You can call in here and talk and give us a report. It's always fun and always real. And you're certainly welcome to join. Any closing thoughts, OG?
Yeah, everyone go out, and buy some tar and feathers and some hemp rope. Stick it in the closet because you may want to use it soon.
That's right. With that, everybody, have a great evening. Oh, Popeye, OG that got me running for damn president on there.
There you go.
Hey, it really be. Hey, first thing I do, I'd fire a whole hell of a bunch of federal workers, a bunch of them, and I would start at the VA. Anybody that's acting like a jerk, and I'm not talking about management. I'm talking about the people that you engage with when you go in there, because some of them are just really, really jerks, assholes, even. With that, everybody, we're out of here. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Stay healthy.